Hello, this is Dr. Tai Ikomi, the author of the best-selling book, His Beauty for My Ashes, and also Forgiveness Discipleship, a 12-volume collection on forgiveness. And today we continue with the series on the benefits of forgiveness. We have various categories of the benefits of forgiveness, which we have discussed. We have the social benefits, which we are going to discuss today. We have the emotional benefits. We have the spiritual benefits. We have the physical benefits. And indeed, we have the psychological benefits as well. Today, we want to look at one of the social benefits of forgiveness. And today's topic is forgiveness sustains healthy relationships. Forgiveness sustains healthy relationships. If we were to remember all the offenses, all the blunders, all the mistakes of people against us, well, before long, we will be left without friends or family members to be around us. Bishop Desmond Tutu rightly said that without forgiveness, there is no future. Forgiveness, I believe, is God's way or God's tool of helping us to replace our past, our broken past with a bright future. Now, let's see how forgiveness plays in this in our social life. One, when we are offended, we feel the pain and we feel the hurt, and unless we forgive it, we continue to carry the pain even to the present. In other words, there is a link to the past. Always, we are tied, to the past. We constantly remember what they did. Sometimes it could be an event that will spark it. Sometimes when we just remember it, it sparks it. The broken past is kind of tied to us. We are tied to the broken past. And to make it worse, when someone hurts us along the veins, the pain doubles. It's like someone pours salt on an open sore. It hurts us again. Why? Because we are still tied to the past, which we have not forgiven. I heard the story of a young man whose father deserted him and his mother when he was only 10 years of age. And that had a great negative impact on him. He held a grudge against his father. And no matter what the father did in his adult years, he did not want to forgive him. He did not see him as a good person. He was angry with him. And eventually, he joined an organization of about 7 people. It was a close knit friendship that they had. And there was one man there who was like a father figure to him. And he kind of replaced the absence of his father. It was like a healing to his pain. And he was so happy, but only for a while. Then one day, the whole team heard that he was gone. And this young man couldn't get over it. It was like a deja vu. It was like what had happened before. His father had also left him, and now this father figure had left him again, and he was feeling so bad and so dejected. And one of the team members now pointed out something important to him. He said, "It is true that he left us, but you know what? He left all of us, but only you, he left a note." And indeed, this man, this father figure, left a note for this young man. And then the young man realized that really he was special, that this father figure deemed it fit that he should leave a note only to him. You see, why did he feel the pain more than the others? It was because he was still carrying an open wound of his father who had deserted him when he was only 10 years old, and which he refused to forgive. And so the wound was fresh, it was open, and if anything reminds him of the pain, or if anyone does to him what his father did to him, the pain doubles. And so the benefit of forgiveness is when you forgive, the link with the past is broken, the wound is healed. Even if somebody were to offend you again along those lines, it will hurt you, but not like someone pouring salt to an open wound. The scripture says that we should let it go. In fact, Jesus Christ told the disciples in Mark 11, verse 25, says, "And when ye stand praying, forgive, if ye have aught against any, that your Father also, which is in heaven, may forgive you." The word forgive there, from the word affirmi, means to release. It means to let go. That's the idea of forgiveness. And so when you forgive, you are letting go the past. You are putting the past where it belongs, in the past. You forget it there, you put it there. And the only way that can be done is by you disconnecting from the past. Secondly, forgiveness also maintains good relationships. Yes, it does. That's another benefit of forgiveness. When a friend offends us and we close the door to our friendship, before long, we are going to lose a lot of good friends. Maybe at work, our close friend, our bosom friend, took side with the other party instead of our party, or maybe against us personally, and we are so angry with them. And we don't even go to them and say, "Why did you do what you did?" Maybe an explanation might have sufficed. Maybe he acted under due duress, or maybe he was simply acting out his conviction. Well, whatever it is, we never get to know the reason. Maybe if we had given him the opportunity to explain himself, we might have understood because of the light that is shed on it. But no, we don't want to hear. We just say we don't want to hear. Let it go. We let it go. Not in a positive sense. We let go the friendship, as it were. And what happens? The consequence of that is that this is our bosom friend. We have laughed together. We have shared wonderful memories together. We have been to many places together. We have also cried together. We have been each other's counselor. And all these things in one day are gone. We lose out of a relationship that we have nurtured over the years, all because of this one single thing that he did, which we don't even want to hear why he did it. Yes, it's true that we should learn some lessons because we don't even know ourselves. Time unpeels not just our nature, but the nature of others. You may think that your friend will never do this, but now he has done it. It doesn't mean that we will not learn genuine lessons, because as someone well put it, that if you ignore history, it's bound to repeat itself. It doesn't mean that you don't learn any lesson. You learn lessons, but you do not, because of this one single thing, now just leave your friend and just let go all the relationship of the past. Except, of course, if the nature of the offense is in such a way that there's no way for the future, not because of your anger, not because of your disappointment, but because of the nature of the offense. And even at that, Not all forgiveness leads to reconciliation. It does not always lead to us going back to where we were before. But we still need to forgive simply for the sake of our emotions. And indeed, it's only on rare occasions that what the person did should really obliterate everything that we have shared in the past. Proverbs 18, verse 24 says, a man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. Proverbs 18, verse 24. You know, there are some friends that are even closer to us than our siblings. And thank God for those friends. Do not just let the gem of your friendship slide away simply because of an offense that you refuse to forgive and which you have exaggerated in your heart because of the pain that it brings. Forgiveness will take away the pain and help you to be open to a possible um, reconciliation if it is wise. Then, thirdly, forgiveness also leads to bright future relationships. You see, a benefit of forgiveness is that it's going to affect your future relationships. You see, if we did not forgive our friends in the past because of what they did, even though they might have apologized to us, even though they might have tried to explain to us, but we don't want to have anything to do with them, indeed, it's going to affect our relationship in the future. In what sense? In the sense that we are maimed by the past. The offense of our friend in the past continues to haunt us. How do we know that our friend, our future friends, or this particular friend we just met the other day, how do we know that he will not do the same? We are haunted by that. We are maimed, as it were. We are allowing the past offense to dictate the future for us. We cannot trust again because of the past. There is a healthy trust that only forgiveness can bring. After all, there is a saying that you do not throw away the baby with the dirty water. Let's look at the story of Absalom. Absalom was the handsome son of King David. One day, his half brother Amnon raped his full sister, Tamar, Absalom's full sister. David had many wives, and so many of them were half siblings. And Absalom could not get over it, especially as it appeared as if David did not punish Amnon sufficiently, at least in the eyes of Absalom. And Absalom could not get over it. What did he do? He went and killed his brother for it. And then he fled to Geshur. He was the son of the daughter of the king of Geshur. And so he went there, and he was there for 3 years. At the end of 3 years, he was called back home. But even though he had killed Amnon, his brother, it did not bring closure. Some people think that retaliation will bring closure. Not necessarily so. Vengeance does not. In fact, it rarely brings closure. Justice, to some extent, can, but forgiveness becomes an ingredient for real closure. After 3 years, David recalled his son home, but he did not want to see his face because he was still grieving over his son, Amnon, who died, whom Absalom had killed 3 years earlier. Of course, those who have lost a child, especially adult children, will testify that it takes more than 1 or 2 years to forget or to get over the loss of their child or their son or daughter. And so he was still grieving. And of course, that must have infuriated Absalom because Absalom wanted to just come back to the palace and just let things be as they used to be. This his father did not allow. And so he was angry. And maybe he was still angry that his father did not adequately punish Amnon. Or maybe he was envious and he wanted to become the next king, whatever it was. He was still angry. He continued to allow the broken offense to continue to stay with him in his life. And so he devised a plan. He wanted his father killed so that he would become king. And of course, in the process of it, he became his own casualty. He became the one to lay in the grave that he dug for his father. He died in the process of it. And indeed, Absalom lost a lot. He lost a lot because he did not allow the past to be in the past, to forgive the past, to let it go, and to face a bright future. When he returned home from Geshur, Absalom continued to be angry with his father. He lost the friendship of his father. He should have understood his father. He should have felt the pain of his father. After all, he himself, by that time, was a father. He should have known, but he was still very angry. Then he also lost the throne because at this time he was the next in line to the throne. He should have become the next king, but he was angry with the person who made it possible for him to be heir apparent to the throne. He was still angry. And he lost his life because in his attempt to kill his father, he himself was killed. He lost a lot because he would not unloose himself from the past. A benefit, therefore, of forgiveness is that it frees you from a negative past to a bright future. Proverbs 27, verse 17 says, Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. God has given you so many friends to enjoy. Do not allow the pain of the past, of past relationships, to affect the new relationships that God, in His goodness, has sent along your path. Food for thought for today. Friends and families are a great gift from God, even though sometimes we tend not to appreciate it or to take it for granted. But God has sent along our path some great friends, and God has put us among our family as a gift to us. And they will offend us. That is certain. They will offend us. And the question is, am I going to let go the gift that God has given to me because I do not want to forgive their offense? That is not the wise thing to do. You can lean on God for wisdom to know which friendship to keep and which friendship not to keep. Indeed, there are some friendships that are toxic. There are some friendships, no matter how you try, it simply doesn't work. The chemistry is not there. But by and large, those ones that God has brought along your path, the healthy ones, you need to cultivate it. And one of the tools to cultivate it is forgiveness. Don't miss out on the relationship that God has brought your way. Well, until the next class, goodbye and God bless you.